everyone, Ren here from Whole Shift Wellness. I hope you're doing great. I just wanted to check in very quickly and share a thought or realization that I have been going through myself in the hope that it might inspire somebody else. And this is a recurring topic, by the way, that comes up in our conversations with our shifters time and time again. The question is, what to do if your environment is not supporting your fitness, health, well-being goals and aspirations. And by environment, I mean anything from lifestyle, business, associates, the people in your life, your friends, your family. So here's the message, the essence of the message that I want to convey to you today. If your environment, or if you feel that your environment doesn't support your goals and aspirations, and this very much applies to your fitness, health and well-being goals, but it really applies to any goals you may have, you've got to become greater than your environment. And I'm going to use a personal example to drive home what I mean by this. So in the last week or so, my mum has been visiting from Italy, and it's always great to have her here and to spend time with her. However, fitness is not a high value in my mother's life. She's relatively healthy, but she's not particularly into working out. So she doesn't play a lot of value on the activity of working out. It's not a high value on her list. Whereas it's a very high value on my list, or it's probably the top priority. Anything to do with self-care. So, focus, food and fitness, the three pillars of well-being. I have a very structured routine around it that is very important to me. It matters a lot to me. However, my mom doesn't share in my value. And so inevitably, there can be, I wouldn't say conflict, but definitely moments of friction between what she prioritizes and what I instead prioritize, and how I want to allocate the time in my day. And without even realizing, she can kind of undermine this priority of mine simply because it's not that important to her. So she would rather do something else than, have to wait for me to fulfill my routines. And although now I'm very established and I have a number of techniques and strategies to navigate these circumstances, they can still get quite challenging at times, because she can be quite vocal about the fact that she would rather we organize the day differently, and sometimes she can make little remarks about how, do I really need to work out again? Or do I really need to eat like that, or eat before we go out? Can't we go out for lunch, There's only so much eating out I enjoy doing. I actually prefer to eat at home for the most part, so that when I do eat out, I don't feel it's affecting my goals. So 2 things you can do to navigate similar scenarios, because this is just my personal example that I wanted to use to convey this message, but it could be very different for you, but although along the same lines. The first and most important step, which I always do, and I'm going to do it again, is to have an enrollment conversation with the person in your life whom you feel is not supporting your greatest goals and aspirations. People can't read your mind. Even the closest people to you don't know exactly how you feel about something. They don't know exactly what's most important to you and why, or they might not fully grasp, especially if it's something that is not that important to them. So actually, instead of assuming that they know or expecting them to understand, don't underestimate the importance of having that enrollment conversation and reminding them of it time and time again, especially if it's somebody like, in this instance, my mother, whom you dearly care about. and you want them to get how important certain things are for you and why they're non-negotiables and what a difference they make to you, because they might not be realizing, fitness, like I said, is not high on her values. She doesn't get why it's so important, and she's not supposed to. It's not her value, it's my value. It's not her responsibility to get it, it's my responsibility to be able to share with her and have her see it from my perspective. It's my goal, so it's my responsibility. Don't put it on others. Don't expect others to get what you want them to get and support you where you want to be supported, Your values, your goals are your responsibility, so you gotta take ownership of them. The moment you put that responsibility on somebody else and you start blaming them for not supporting you, you're taking the power from your hands and placing the power in somebody else's hands where it does not belong. And you're doing not only yourself a massive disfavor, you're doing them a massive disfavor, because it's not their responsibility, and this is quite likely to lead to misunderstandings and resentment, whereby you start having negative feelings towards somebody for not supporting you the way you wanted them to, when you actually haven't really had an enrollment conversation where you've actually shared fully why this thing matters and why you would like their support. So first thing to do in a situation similar to the one I was just explaining to you, have an enrollment conversation, really explain yourself fully to the other person so that they can see things from your perspective. Make it your responsibility, it's not their responsibility. Second thing, and this is, by the way, I want to clarify it, this is if you really care about the relationship. We're talking about my mother. I really care about the relationship. I'm gonna make the effort. I want her to see it from my perspective. If it's somebody that I don't care as much about, then I'm not even going to trouble with that. I'm gonna find a way to completely avoid, even having to have this conversation. You've got to pick your battles. So choose who's important to you, who you want to enroll. Don't go around trying to enroll people that really are not that invested in yourself and in the relationship, because that's a waste of your energy, So pick your battles with that. And then the second point, the second distinction that I want to share with you guys, which is very powerful and might come across as a bit controversial, but bear with me. So nobody owes you support. Nobody owes you to support you on your journey. Not even the people that are closest to you, It's not something that anybody owes you, not even your parents, not even your spouse. So going around with this sense of almost entitlement, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful if they do, but that support is not absolutely fundamental to you getting shit done, and excuse my language, and going for it and doing what you need to do to take the best possible care of yourself, right? Again, by going around feeling like somebody owes you that support, you're disempowering yourself. You're putting your power on somebody else's hands. They might not want that power. most often than not, people don't want to be responsible for your health and well-being. That's your number one priority. It's your responsibility and nobody else's. And nobody has to support you in doing what you need to do to take the best possible care of you. Most people will, the people that are closest to you will support you. I believe that if you enroll them properly, they are going to want to have you back and do the best that they can to, for you to succeed, but they don't owe it to you. You can get on with your life and do what you need to do, even if they don't. And in fact, you should, because sometimes, we don't share values with the people that are closest to us, and that's fine. You can absolutely have unconditional love, somebody that doesn't share the same exact values as you, and you can live a happy life where you both are in full appreciation and understanding and acceptance of each other's values, and you give each other the space that you need in order to get on with your life and do what you need to do to be your most fit, healthy and confident self. But if you go around begrudgingly feeling like, oh, I can't do it because this person or that person is not supporting me on it, you're not doing anybody any favors. You know, you're not doing yourself a favor, you're not doing the other person a favor, you're losing your power, you're giving it away, and you're putting the relationship at risk. Because sooner or later you start resenting the fact that you feel this person doesn't support you and therefore you can't do what you know you should be doing. So, number one, have the enrollment conversation if necessary and appropriate. If the enrollment conversation means that that person doesn't share in on your values, just create a strategy around how you can do what you need to do to take the best possible care of yourself without relying on the person's support, and own your power, own the responsibility for your life, and remember that you need to take care of yourself before you take care of anybody else, so that you always have enough to give. You gotta be selfish before you can be selfless, and you gotta play big because you're capable of way more than you think you are. Those are our 3 company values. And if you need any tips or ideas or some fresh inspirations on the topic of health, fitness and well-being, our next upcoming micro event, 8 Members Club in Moorgate, London, is on August 29th, Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to have an amazing guest on that day, which is Jason Grayston, who is an incredible entrepreneur and specializes in wealth management and mindset, which is why we love him so much. So come and join us. You have nothing to lose. It's just 2 hours of your day. It's only $25, so literally no barrier to entry. And you never know, it might just be what you need right now to bring some new inspiration in your life. I hope this was helpful. Let me know what you think. Any comments, any thoughts, feel free to share. And yes, I will be catching you very soon. Ciao for now.